Protests marking the 4th anniversary of the Iraq invasion are continuing today across the country. In New York, peace activists are taking part in a mass civil disobedience on Wall Street. In San Francisco, people are planning to stage a die-in at the Federal Reserve Building. On Saturday, tens of thousands of protesters took part in a march on the Pentagon. Protests were also held over the weekend in New York, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Seattle, Minneapolis, and scores of other cities. This is former U.S. soldier Terry O'Brien, a member of Iraq Veterans Against the War.
I'm basically here to support the troops. I think the only way to support the troops is to be here, to be out in the streets, demanding that they come home. And I'm here to support the self-determination of the Iraqi people.
In New York, protesters marched by the offices of Democratic Senators Hillary Rodham Clinton and Chuck Schumer. The protest took place just days after Senator Clinton said she would keep troops in Iraq if she were elected president. The actor Martin Sheen and thousands of others marched in Hollywood.
This government, no, it does not represent the people. It's given us a horrible name. It's given us an obscene war, and they have no leadership and no credibility. They are disgraceful. They all belong in the federal penitentiary, all of them.
Protests were also held around the world, including in Australia, Chile, Turkey, South Korea, Malaysia, and Greece. In Madrid, the Oscar-winning filmmaker Pedro Almodóvar joined a massive protest of up to 400,000 people.
According to Bush, this war was going to be quick. It was only going to take a few weeks, and it's been 4 years. I think that what's really disgusting is to read every day in the papers the number of deaths in Iraq. That makes me feel so powerless. I find that frightening.
In Washington, anti-war protests began on Friday night when 222 people were arrested outside the White House. Many were Christian peace activists who'd just taken part in a prayer service at the National Cathedral. This is Faith Garlington, who traveled to Washington, D.C. from Atlanta, Georgia.
We, as Christians, do not support his invasion of Iraq. We want the troops out immediately. We, as Christians, we don't want this war fought in the name of Christ.
Veterans for Peace and Iraq Veterans Against the War are launching a caravan today to visit military towns across the East Coast to build opposition to the war within the ranks. Stops on the caravan include Fort Bragg in North Carolina, Fort Jackson in South Carolina, and Fort Stewart in Georgia. Meanwhile, in San Francisco and Washington, vigils are continuing to take place outside the homes of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Protesters are urging her to cut off funding to the war.